If you could train your brain to think ahead of your environment, to imagine a future that hasn't happened yet, and make it so real in your mind that your body begins to respond to it as if it's already real, how much power would you have to change your life? Let me tell you something. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a real-life event and what you're vividly imagining. And that one simple truth can transform your life. Today, I want to teach you how to trick your brain into creating a future of unlimited success. Let's start with something most people understand: repetition. Think about a musician learning a new piece of music, or an athlete practicing a skill. What do? They repeat it over and over. That repetition wires circuits in the brain. Over time, it becomes easier, more natural, more automatic. This is what we call physical rehearsal. The beauty of physical rehearsal is that it transforms the unfamiliar into the familiar. When you pick up a guitar for the first time, it feels awkward. Your fingers don't know where to go. But after weeks, months, or years of practice, you don't even have to think about it. Your hands instinctively know the notes. This is how the brain works. It thrives on repetition. But here's the thing. Physical practice alone isn't enough to reach extraordinary levels of success. It's the first step. But what separates the good from the great, the average from the exceptional, is something far more powerful: mental rehearsal. The greatest athletes, musicians, actors, they don't just practice physically, they also practice mentally. Before they ever step onto the field, the stage, or the court, they sit down and rehearse the act in their mind. They imagine every move, every note, every step in vivid detail. Why? Because science tells us that when you mentally rehearse an action, your brain can't tell the difference between what's happening in the real world and what you're vividly imagining. To the brain, both are the same. When you rehearse, you're installing neurological hardware. It's like planting seeds in a garden. The more you rehearse, the stronger those circuits become, and your brain begins to think, I've already done this before. So when the moment comes to perform, it feels natural, effortless, automatic. This is why mental rehearsal is the champion's secret. It's not just about the body, it's about the mind. It's about creating a blueprint for success before you even take the first physical step. Most people use their brain like a record of the past. They replay old memories, relive old emotions, and reinforce the same patterns. Think about it. How often do you find yourself dwelling on a mistake you made, or an opportunity you missed? How often do you let the emotions of the past dictate your actions in the present? But what if I told you your brain could become a map to the future? That instead of being stuck in the past, you could train your brain to anticipate a better tomorrow. When you mentally rehearse your goals and dreams, you're training your brain to believe it's already experienced them. You're no longer just reacting to the environment. You're creating a new one. Your brain begins to predict and prepare for that reality. And when you show up in your life, everything feels aligned, as if the universe is conspiring to help you. This isn't magic, it's neuroscience. Let's dive deeper into the science. Here's what happens when you visualize your future in detail. 1. Neurons fire together. Your brain begins to activate the same neural circuits as if you were physically doing the action. 2. Neural connections strengthen. With repetition, these connections become stronger, making the behavior more automatic. 3. The brain believes it's real. You're laying down the hardware to match that future reality. So when you take action, your brain already has the roadmap. You've primed yourself for success. This is why visualization works. It's not just wishful thinking. It's a powerful tool to rewire your brain. But there's one more thing. It's not enough to just think about your future. You have to feel it. Why? Because emotions are the language of the body. When you feel inspired, grateful, or joyful as you rehearse your future, your body begins to align with that vision. You're conditioning yourself emotionally to believe in that reality. Think of it this way. If your thoughts are the blueprint, your emotions are the energy that brings it to life. This is why gratitude is so powerful. When you feel grateful for something you haven't yet experienced, you're signaling to your body that it's already happened, and the body responds. So, how do you do this? Here's a step-by-step process. 1. Set a clear intention. Decide what you want to achieve. Be specific. Write it down if you need to. 2. Visualize in detail. Close your eyes and imagine yourself achieving that goal. What do you see, hear, smell? 3. 3, engage emotionally. Feel the excitement, the pride, the gratitude as if it's already happened. 4, rehearse daily. Spend 10 to 15 minutes each day mentally rehearsing. Consistency is key. Remember, repetition creates mastery. The more you practice, the more real it becomes. And don't just go through the motions. Make it real in your mind. Make it vivid. Your brain will do the rest. When you combine clear intention with elevated emotion, and you practice it daily, you're no longer living by default. You're designing your destiny. You're training your brain to look ahead, to anticipate success, and to make decisions that align with that vision. You're no longer just a victim of your environment. You're the creator of your reality. So, what's stopping you? Your brain is the most powerful tool you have. Start using it to create the life you've always dreamed of. Trick your brain into success and watch your world transform. If you're ready to unlock your true potential, don't wait, start today. Every great journey begins with a single step. The first step might seem challenging, but it's the most important one you can take. Now that you've learned the principles of mind mastery, it's time to put them into action. You can't just learn these concepts, you must live them, breathe them, and apply them to every area of your life. Imagine what's possible when you fully commit to mastering your mind. Visualize the life you want to create and begin making decisions from that place of clarity and intention. As you start to shift your thoughts and actions in alignment with your goals, you'll notice that the world around you begins to reflect that inner change. You have the ability to transform your life on a deeper level than you may have realized. Every thought, emotion, and belief you hold has the power to create your reality. By consciously choosing thoughts that support your goals and taking inspired actions toward them, you're rewiring your brain and setting yourself on a new path. It's not always easy, but the more you practice, the more effortless it becomes. Over time, you'll find that your mind is no longer your obstacle, it's your greatest ally. You're not alone on this path. Many have walked it before you, people who've overcome obstacles, rewritten their stories, and built extraordinary lives. They were once in your shoes, unsure if change was possible, but they persevered. They believed in their ability to create something greater, and they took the steps necessary to make their vision a reality.